All right, let's get started with our stuff. Okay, so these are chords. All right, now if this chord is the same length as this chord, a chord is something, a segment that starts and ends on the ends of the circle. So if these segments are making the same arc length, that means they are the exact same length of the chord because they've gone into the circle the same amount. That also causes this to be the same, so these are going to be the same. These lengths are going to be the same, okay? Because there's a 90-degree angle here from the center, that means these two sides have been cut the same. That means these are going to be the same as that one. Very similar. Now, if you create a triangle with this, it will create an isosceles triangle, okay? Because this length and this length are radiuses. So if I do another one over here, this one will also be the same, and it will be congruent, the two triangles. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of stuff in these set questions that are going to be equal to each other. All right, let's see if I can move this. All right, inscribed angles. So an inscribed angle is an angle that its vertices is going to be the end of the circle. So if you go from the end point to the other end point, this arc is going to be double the inside. Okay, so if that's 35, this one would have to be 70 degrees. Okay, now this angle right here is also inscribed. Okay, its vertices is here, and this end point, and it uses the same endpoints, which means this has to be also 35 degrees because it's half of the outside. All right, this is also an inscribed angle because the vertices is on the end of the circle because this line is tangent. Okay, so if this arc right here, if I had this arc right here, because I would need this one as well. If I had this arc and the 60, I could figure out what that angle is. So let's say this one was 30, so I would make 90. So this right here would be 45 because it has to be from here all the way to here. All right, it can get a little confusing. You just have to follow the one angle and kind of be able to ignore the rest. So those are inscribed angles. And then here, okay, so if I'm trying to find that angle that's not in the center, inside the circle, I need this angle and that angle, okay? You're gonna add those up and divide by 2. So 100 plus 120, that's 220. Divide that by 2. So let's call that x and y. So x plus y divided by 2, or times a half, just the same thing. So x plus y divided by 2, so that would be 220 divided by 2, that's 110. That means that this angle is 110 and this angle is 110. These are vertical angles, so they have to be equal to each other. Figuring out that one is just as easy. That has to be 70 and that has to be 70. Okay? Let me see here, what else? Well, that one's done. Go down. What if you're looking for an angle on the outside? If you're looking for an angle on the outside of a circle and you have the parts of the circle here, you know how fast it's shrinking, okay? It's going to be y minus x, or the big one minus the small one. Don't follow the rule of the letter exactly. It's the big one minus the small one, because the angle's not going to be negative, divided by 2, okay? And then the next one here are lengths. So for the lengths here, it's going to be these multiplying have to be the same thing as these multiplying. So 3 times x, 3x, has to be the same as 6 times 4, which is 24. So divide by 3, x equals 8. So we know that x equals 8, and that'll make both lengths the same, proportionally. This one here, when you're looking for a length on the outside, now sometimes a line is tangent, so then you just be holding on to one number, but in this case it's not. So here would be the length of the whole line, which is 4 plus x. Let's see if I can move it. No. 4 plus x is the length of the whole line. And I'm multiplying by the exterior, which is 4. And this equals the length of the whole line, which is 5 plus 4, which is 9. And that's multiplying with the outside number, which is 5. So this is going to be 16 plus 4x equals 45. I would subtract the 16 on both sides. I'd be left with 4x equals 29. I would divide by 4, divide by 4. X equals 8.25. Right? That is, no, I think that's wrong. It's 7.25. See? No one corrected me. Well, no one's here, so that makes sense. 7.25. And that's it. Those are the examples.